Narcissistic demons. Is it true that we live in an era of narcissism? You have probably heard that the world is experiencing an epidemic of narcissism. Yes, but no. What they write about endemic narcissism in fashion books is actually a substitution of concepts and new harmful stereotypes. Also, narcissists are not haughty demons who think they are the best. Imagine it's just the opposite. If you are a millennial or Gen Zer, if you post selfies a lot, then you have probably heard accusations of narcissism against you more than once. From reference books on psychiatry, this word has penetrated colloquial speech and has become a common accusation against everyone who, in our opinion, shows signs of vanity, inflated self-esteem and constantly needs someone else's attention. Almost everyone around seems to be latent or overt narcissists. The scale of the disaster is huge. The consequences are devastating. Obsession with their own experiences, loneliness and uncontrolled use of social networks. But even if we do indeed live in an age of narcissism, things are not as bad as they seem. How narcissism was declared an epidemic? I think I'm a special person. I can live the way I want to. If I ruled the world, it would be a better place. If I was on the Titanic, I would have to be put on the boat first. These are statements from various psychological tests to determine the level of narcissism. According to research by social psychologists Jean Twenge and Keith Campbell, between 1982 and 2009, this figure increased for half of American college students. They are more likely than previous generations to believe that they are unique and deserve special treatment. They have less interest in others, set themselves inflated goals and do not cope well with failures. In the best-selling book The Narcissistic Epidemic, Twenge and Campbell conclude that we are in the midst of a massive cultural pandemic. In their opinion, Western individualism has gone too far. It can be a source of such positive things as equality and tolerance, but it becomes a disadvantage when it develops into narcissism and arrogance. The idea that the most important thing in life is self-love has become an obsessive cultural mantra. Millions of parents have taught their children over the years how special and wonderful they are. The children grew up and came to the conclusion that everyone around them owed them something. As writer Bret Easton Ellis said, "We have raised a generation of self-confident and optimistic people who are simply paralyzed when even a drop of negativity enters their lives." Many researchers dispute the truth of these claims on a global scale. But the stereotype of the narcissistic millennial is so ingrained in the culture that it's hard to shake it off. According to a recent survey, even millennials themselves believe that there are a lot of narcissists among them, and this thought causes them anxiety. The older generations have always accused the younger ones of selfishness, laziness and trampling on moral principles. Even Aristotle complained about self-confident youths who imagine too much of themselves. In the 18th century, a letter to the editor of an American magazine called The Younger Generation, a race of pampered, stunted, effeminate daffodils and bums. But today's critics argue that this time everything is different. They have not prejudices and stereotypes on their side, but strictly scientific data. As it turns out, this evidence is based on a very shaky foundation. The authors of high-profile statements about the epidemic of narcissism draw their conclusions from the results of the Narcissistic Personality Inventory, (NPI), developed in 1978. It is regularly taken by students in American colleges, so to date, scientists have managed to collect a huge amount of data. The problem is that the test measures not only high, but also healthy self-esteem. Do you agree with the statements? "I like to look at my body. I tend to insist on my opinion," and "I consider myself a good leader"? If yes, welcome to daffodils. By the way, researchers record the highest growth in NPI results among women. Perhaps this is about emancipation, and not about some mysterious cultural disease. Other evidence is even more dubious. Twenge and Campbell found that the use of "we" in literature is declining, while "I" is rising. The word "receive" began to be used more often, and "give" less often. From this they conclude that narcissism is more widespread. Kanye West's lyrics are cited as an example. "I am a god. Hurry up with my damn massage. Hurry up with my damn menage. Get the Porsche out the damn garage." It sounds rather narcissistic, but it is unlikely that the number of pronouns and lyrics of hip-hop performers should seriously judge the mood of the era. Other researchers disagree that the level of narcissism has somehow changed in recent years. As psychologists at the University of Illinois have shown, Self-obsession peaks in youth and declines with age. Typical traits attributed to millennials are impatience, overpriced high expectations, and a tendency to introspection can be more accurately described in one word: youth.
Thank you for watching. Reading is boring, so we will be sharing interesting things about world and life with you. Share, like and subscribe, you know what to do. Leave a comment what you are interested in so we can do an episode about it too.